everyone, I'm Jessicat, and today I want to talk about a question that may seem a little bit useless, but that I think is very interesting to answer. What would it take to craft one of every single item in Minecraft? Now, this is only for Minecraft Java Edition 1.16.1, so if things come along in further updates that change these results, this video may no longer be accurate. Before we jump into it, let's get into the specifics a little. I'm only talking about items that can be crafted in a crafting bench like this, so no items from a furnace, no items in a smithing table to upgrade them to netherite. Nothing like that, just plain old crafting bench. I've also broken down items into the most basic uncraftable material. Technically gold and iron ingots can be crafted, I'm ignoring that as well as a couple of other rules like that because I want to go with the most common resource that is the base crafting material. And I'm also ignoring extra data like flight duration for rockets or potion length, things like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here, I have a graph. Can you tell what it is? It is a graph of the items that you will need the most of to craft one of everything in Minecraft. The diamond blocks represent a single stack each, and the snow blocks on top represent any additional items after the stacks. And as you can see, this is quite a lopsided graph. Over here is the item that you will need the most of by far. It is string, interestingly enough, and this is why. You need all this string in order to craft mostly items like this. Wool, banners, carpets, beds, all of which have 16 colors and thus will take quite a lot of wool to craft. It's also worth noting that when you craft the carpets, you will end up with 2 of each carpet, which is unavoidable because each carpet crafting recipe gives you 2 carpets. And there are a lot of instances like this in my calculations where even though I do the calculations for crafting in the most efficient way possible, I still end up with extra items at the end, and unfortunately that's just something I've had to factor into the calculations. Next up is prismarine shards, and this is just because of the wide variety of prismarine variations there are in this game, as well as the fact that you need several prismarine shards for each block. That is why prismarine shards come in second. Next up is cobblestone, and this one is probably to be expected, especially since there are so many cobblestone variations. There are stone tools, and there's also andesite, diorite, and granite, all of which have their own variations like stairs and walls, and all take cobblestone to craft. Then there's iron, which comes right after cobblestone and is pretty close in amount. Iron is used in all sorts of things, so this probably isn't too much of a surprise. There's armor and tools, stuff like tripwire hooks and other various recipes, and of course, rails. We also have quartz for its variations, sand for concrete powder and sandstone variations, glass for all its colored variations, terracotta for the different versions of terracotta, and this is mostly here because each of these recipes take 8 terracotta, so that really bumps it up, nether brick for each of its variations. Finally, at last, we come to wood, which I would have expected to be far higher on the list, but here it is. These oak logs are supposed to represent a log of any kind, as indeed these are for recipes that will accept any form of wood, but these are for crafting planks and sticks, which of course go into a very wide variety of recipes. Then we have red sand for sandstone, ice for packed ice and blue ice, and I was surprised at the amount of ice required here, but it really makes sense when you think about the fact that blue ice contains 81 normal ice blocks. Then there's gold, which of course is used for a wide variety of items, stone, which has a wide variety of variations, bricks, which have a decent amount of variations and are mostly here because you need 4 bricks per block, which really bumps it up. And finally, on our list of items that you need more than a stack of, you have gravel, which is just useful for concrete powder, but nonetheless that's enough to bring it up here. And now we will move on to the items that you need less than a stack of, and they fit nicely into these 2 double chests. So, they are ordered by the amount of it that you need. I'm not going to talk much about these, but you can take a look. All of these lingering potions, by the way, represent the lingering potions that you would need to craft all of the tipped arrows. Here are all the wood types for the things that need specific types of wood. And finally, here are the items that you need the fewest of, but still need in a couple of crafting recipes. We have a very interesting variety of items here, including items that only appear once in one crafting recipe. These are the items that you will most rarely need for crafting. And now I briefly want to address why on earth this might be useful. I think this is somewhat of a useful calculation, despite what I said at the beginning of the video, because it is essentially a calculation of which items are going to be the most common in crafting recipes, and so which items are the most useful to gather overall. Now, of course, it's not exactly a great calculation because every single one of the recipes has been weighted equally, when of course, in reality, whenever you're playing Minecraft, you're going to be far more likely to craft certain things than others, which is why you would want a lot of cobblestone and iron more than you might want wool and prismarine. And also it's worth mentioning that if you want to craft a lot of wool-based blocks, it's probably better to have a wool farm than a string farm. But overall, I think this is a pretty good representation of which resources you might want to spend the most time trying to gather in your world, so that you can make smart decisions and not waste your time crafting things. And I have had a lot of fun making this list for you, doing all the math, and I hope you have enjoyed finding out the results. If you have enjoyed finding out the results, please do leave a like on the video. It would really help me out, and I did spend a lot of time on this, so a little bit of thanks for my hard work would be much appreciated. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I do make videos like this fairly frequently, and I'm hoping to do a renewable resources for Minecraft 1.16.1 video soon, so if you're interested in that, please do subscribe to the channel. If you think I made a mistake at some point during this video, please feel free to let me know. Put some of your own math down in the comments. I'd love to interact with you and talk about that. Otherwise, I will see you next week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!